The alarm clock screamed, piercing the early morning silence. Raphael silenced it with a groan, his body protesting the early hour. 5 a.m. Another day began, the first rays of sunlight creeping through the window, casting a soft glow on the room. He could hear the triplets stirring in the next room, Sophia's impatient cries, Mateo's insistent babble, and little Elena's soft whimpers. Each sound was a unique melody, a testament to their distinct personalities. His heart ached for his wife Elena, their namesakes, a constant reminder of his loss. The photo on his nightstand, her smiling face, was both a comfort and a source of pain. The small kitchen was soon a whirlwind of activity, the once quiet house now filled with the sounds of life. Raphael simultaneously wrestled with the toaster, poured juice, and coaxed the children into their chairs. It was a daily dance, a routine he had perfected over time. Oatmeal, their mother's favorite, was on the menu. He remembered how she used to make it, with a touch of cinnamon and a sprinkle of love. Each spoonful brought a bittersweet memory, a reminder of her absence at the breakfast table. He missed her laugh, her touch, the way she made everything better. He strapped them into their high chairs, a chaotic symphony of clanging spoons and sticky fingers. The mess was overwhelming, but it was a beautiful chaos. His own breakfast, a cup of lukewarm coffee, was a luxury often left unfinished. The demands of fatherhood always came first. He wouldn't trade it for the world. Their smiles, their laughter, were the light in his life. These three little souls were his everything, his life, his purpose. They gave him strength, a reason to keep going, even on the hardest days. As the day progressed, the living room became their playground. Laughter echoed through the house, a sweet symphony of joy. At night he read them stories, their eyes wide with wonder. It was their special time, a moment of peace before sleep. Tucking them into bed, he kissed their foreheads, whispering promises of a better tomorrow. They were his hope, his future. And as the house grew quiet, he sat alone, reflecting on the day, the challenges, the joys, the love that filled his heart. Looking out at the night sky, he found solace in the stars, knowing that his wife was watching over them, her love, a guiding light in their lives. Raphael knew that despite the hardships, he was blessed. His children were his world, and he was determined to give them the best life possible. A glimpse into Raphael's world revealed a story of love, loss, and unwavering strength, a testament to the power of family and the enduring spirit of a father's love. Every afternoon, Raphael took the children to the park. Their laughter filled the air as he pushed them on the swings, their joy infectious. They often had picnics, simple meals that turned into grand adventures. The children's excitement over a sandwich or a piece of fruit was a reminder of the beauty and simplicity. Teaching them to ride bikes was a milestone. Raphael's heart swelled with pride as they wobbled and then steadied, their determination mirroring his own. Sidewalk chalk became their canvas, each drawing a burst of creativity and color. Raphael cherished these moments, each scribble a piece of their growing personalities. Baking cookies was a messy affair, flour and dough everywhere, but the giggles and the sweet aroma that filled the house made it all worthwhile. Movie nights were a favorite. Snuggled on the couch, they watched animated films, the children's eyes wide with wonder, Raphael's heart full of love. Board games brought out their competitive sides. Raphael loved seeing their little faces light up with determination and joy, each victory a shared celebration. Building forts with blankets and pillows turned the living room into a magical kingdom. Inside, they shared stories and dreams, a world of their own creation. Gardening was a new adventure. Planting flowers and watching them grow was a lesson in patience and care, a metaphor for their own lives. Looking through photo albums, Raphael shared stories of their mother, keeping her memory alive. The children's questions and curiosity were a bridge to the past, a way to keep her spirit with them. Each night ended with prayers, a moment of reflection and gratitude. Raphael's whispered words were a promise to his children, a vow to always be there for them. In every hug, every kiss, Raphael poured his love into his children. They were his world, his reason for everything, and in their eyes he found the strength to face each new day. The bell above the shop door clanged. Raphael, elbows deep in the engine of Mrs. Garcia's ancient Ford, barely looked up. "Be with you in a minute," he called out, his voice muffled. He wiped his hands on a greasy rag, the familiar scent of motor oil filling his nostrils. A tall man with steely eyes stood impatiently by the counter. "Rafael Diaz?" he asked, his voice sharp. Rafael nodded, wiping his hands again. "That's me. What can I do for you?" The man's gaze was unwavering. "My name is Thomas. I'm here about your children." Rafael felt a chill run down his spine. Thomas's next words hit him like a physical blow. "Those children, Sofia, Mateo, and Elena, they're mine." Rafael's hands trembled, and the rag slipped from his grasp. Disbelief washed over his face as he struggled to comprehend the words. Memories of family moments flashed before his eyes. Birthday parties, bedtime stories, and laughter. A deep sense of loss and betrayal gripped his heart. In that instant, Rafael's world began to crumble, the foundation of his life shaken to its core. The world spun. It felt as if the ground beneath him had vanished, leaving him in a free-fall of emotions. Rafael gripped the edge of the workbench, his knuckles turning white. The cold metal was the only thing anchoring him to reality. Thomas's words echoed in his ears, each syllable a hammer blow to his heart. The revelation was too much to bear. "Mine," the stranger had said, "his children." The words were like a poison seeping into Rafael's soul. The children he rocked to sleep, the children he spoon-fed, the children he had nurtured from infancy, the children he loved more than life itself. How? Why? The questions were relentless, each one more painful than the last. The questions swirled in his mind, a dizzying tornado of doubt and fear. He felt as if he were drowning in a sea of uncertainty. His Elena, his beautiful, loving wife, would never betray him. Their love was a fortress, unbreakable and eternal. The very thought was anathema. It was a betrayal of everything he held dear. But then, whose children were they? The question gnawed at him, refusing to let go. The resemblance, once a source of joy, now felt like a cruel trick. Every familiar feature was a reminder of the lie he had been living. Sleep was a stranger that night. His mind was a battlefield, each thought a soldier in a war he couldn't win. Rafael lay awake, his mind racing. Every memory, every moment with his children, was now tainted with doubt. Images of Elena, her infectious laughter, her gentle touch, battled with the invasive doubt planted by Thomas's words. He could still hear her voice, see her smile, but now it all felt like a facade. The children, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing around them, slept soundly in the next room. Their peaceful faces were a stark contrast to the turmoil in Rafael's heart. Their innocence was both a comfort and a source of unbearable pain. He wanted to protect them, to shield them from the harsh reality, but he didn't know how. The weight of the truth was crushing, and he felt utterly alone in his despair. As dawn approached, Rafael found himself walking through the park, the cool morning air a temporary balm to his troubled mind. He sat on a bench, watching the world wake up around him, and wondered how he would ever find the strength to face the day. The sunrise, usually a symbol of hope and new beginnings, felt hollow. The light of a new day did little to dispel the darkness that had settled over his heart. A message notification broke his reverie. It was from Elena. He hesitated, his finger hovering over the screen, unsure if he could bear to read her words. Finally, he opened the message. Her words were filled with love and concern, but they only deepened his confusion. How could someone who seemed so genuine be part of such a painful deception? Rafael put his phone away, a new resolve forming within him. He needed answers, and he would find them, no matter the cost. The pieces of his broken heart would not be easy to gather, but he would not rest until he had the truth. He sat in the dimly lit room, staring at the family photo, trying to piece together the fragments of his shattered reality. Rafael began writing in a journal, pouring out his confusion and pain, hoping that putting his thoughts on paper might bring some clarity. He watched old home videos, searching for any signs he might have missed, any clues that could explain the unexplained. He confided in a close friend, seeking solace and understanding, but the answers remained elusive. Rafael even looked at the family tree, trying to trace back any connections that might shed light on the mystery. In a moment of desperation, he found himself in a church, seeking comfort in prayer, hoping for a sign that would guide him through the darkness. As he looked at a photo of his children, a tear rolled down his cheek. The love he felt for them was undeniable, but so was the pain of the unknown. Rafael knew that his journey was far from over. He stood at a crossroads, determined to uncover the truth, no matter where it might lead. Section 4. Doña Lucia's Wisdom, a Beacon in the Storm. Doña Lucia, their elderly neighbor, found Rafael staring blankly at a cup of cold coffee. Her eyes, wise with years of living and loving, saw right through him. "You haven't touched your breakfast, Rafael," she said gently, her voice laced with concern. He poured out his heart to her, his voice thick with emotion. Doña Lucia listened patiently, her hand resting on his arm in a gesture of comfort. When he was finished, she spoke, her voice firm yet kind. "Rafael, my dear boy," she said, her eyes crinkling at the edges, "parenthood is not defined by blood. It's about the love, the sacrifices, the sleepless nights. You, Rafael, are their father, no matter what a stranger says." Later that day, Rafael's friends came over, offering their support and encouragement. They shared stories, laughed, and reminded him of the strong bonds they had built over the years. Their presence brought a glimmer of hope to Rafael's heart. His family also rallied around him, offering their unwavering support. They reassured him that he was not alone in this journey. Surrounded by the love and support of his friends and family, Rafael began to see a way forward. Section 5. The Lawyer's Council, Preparing for Battle. Marcos, Rafael's oldest friend and his lawyer, listened intently, his brow furrowed as Rafael recounted the encounter with Thomas. Gone was the easy banter, the shared jokes that usually filled their meetings. The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air. "We need to be prepared, Rafael," Marcos said, his voice serious. "We need proof. A DNA test is the only way to definitively determine paternity." He paused, his gaze meeting Rafael's. "And Rafael," he added gently, "you need to be prepared for the possibility that this man might have a legitimate claim." The thought sent a fresh wave of fear through Rafael. He had to fight. For his children, for his family, for the memory of Elena. He couldn't lose them. Rafael spent countless hours gathering every piece of evidence he could find. He consulted with multiple lawyers, ensuring no stone was left unturned. Together, they meticulously reviewed documents, piecing together a solid case. Rafael was determined to fight with everything he had. Section 6. A Drop of Blood. Truth hangs in the balance. The sterile white walls of the clinic seemed to close in on Rafael. He had been here before, but never had the stakes felt so high. The hum of fluorescent lights above added to the sterile, almost suffocating atmosphere. Every corner of the room seemed to echo with the silent prayers of countless others who had walked these halls, seeking answers, seeking hope. The air hummed with nervous energy. It was as if the very walls were absorbing the anxiety, the fear, the hope of everyone present. Rafael could feel it in his bones, a tension that seemed to vibrate through the air, making it hard to breathe. Sofia, Mateo, and Elena, oblivious to the weight of the situation, chattered excitedly amongst themselves, their small voices a stark contrast to the turmoil in Rafael's heart. Their innocence was a double-edged sword. It was a comfort and a reminder of the gravity of the moment. They played with their toys, their laughter a brief respite from the heavy silence that otherwise filled the room. The nurse called their names, her voice brisk and impersonal. It was a call Rafael had been both dreading and anticipating. Her tone was professional, detached, as if she were unaware of the emotional weight her words carried. Rafael felt a hand slip into his, small and sticky. It was Elena, seeking comfort in the only way she knew how. Her touch was grounding, a reminder of what was truly important. Elena, her big brown eyes wide with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension, looked up at him. Her gaze was searching, as if she could sense the storm brewing within him. "It's okay, Papa," she whispered, her voice a soothing balm on his frayed nerves. Her words, simple yet profound, gave him a momentary sense of peace. It was as if she had the power to calm the raging sea within him with just a few words. The DNA test itself was quick, almost anticlimactic. The nurse moved with practiced efficiency, her hands steady and sure. Rafael watched, his heart pounding in his chest as the procedure unfolded. A prick of a needle, a drop of blood, and it was done. The simplicity of the act belied the complexity of the emotions it stirred. That tiny drop of blood held the key to their future, a future that seemed to hang in the balance. The truth, contained within those tiny droplets of blood, would determine their future. It was a sobering thought, one that weighed heavily on Rafael's mind. He couldn't help but wonder what the results would reveal and how they would change their lives. The wait for the results, the doctor informed them, would be agonizingly long. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of uncertainty, of sleepless nights and anxious days. Raphael knew that these 2 weeks would feel like an eternity, each day stretching out endlessly as they waited for the truth to be revealed. The doctor's words echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of the uncertainty that lay ahead. The family would have to find a way to navigate this period of waiting, to hold on to hope even as doubt threatened to consume them. The day of the court hearing arrived, and the tension was palpable. The courthouse loomed large, its imposing structure a stark reminder of the gravity of the situation. Raphael's heart raced as he walked through the doors, each step echoing with the weight of the unknown. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Lawyers shuffled papers, the judge sat with a stern expression, and the audience whispered in hushed tones. Raphael felt the weight of every gaze, every murmur, as he took his seat. Raphael's eyes darted to his children, who sat quietly, their faces a mix of confusion and curiosity. The emotional toll was evident. The sleepless nights, the constant worry, had etched lines of stress on his face. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself for what was to come. The judge's voice cut through the tension, calling the court to order. Lawyers began presenting their evidence, each piece a step closer to the truth. Raphael's heart pounded in his chest, each word, each document, a reminder of the stakes. Finally, the moment arrived. The DNA test results were handed to the judge, and the room fell silent. Raphael held his breath, the suspense almost unbearable. The judge examined the results, his expression unreadable. As the judge read the results aloud, Raphael felt a wave of emotions crash over him. Relief, fear, hope, and despair all mingled together, leaving him breathless. The truth was out, and it would change everything. In that moment, surrounded by his children, Raphael knew that no matter the outcome, they would face it together. The emotional toll had been immense, but their bond was stronger. The truth had been revealed, and now they would begin the journey of healing and moving forward. Section 7. More Than Blood. A Father's Love Knows No Bounds. The 2 weeks that followed were a blur. Sleep was a luxury Raphael could no longer afford. He clung to the children, their laughter, their innocent love, his only solace in the storm of uncertainty. He read them their favorite bedtime stories, his voice thick with unshed tears, their small arms wrapped tightly around his neck. Doña Lucia's words echoed in his mind. Parenthood is not defined by blood. He realized the profound truth in her words. These children, his children, were his life. His love for them transcended biology, ran deeper than any blood tie. He vowed to be their rock, their unwavering support, no matter what the future held. Every moment spent with them was a testament to his unbreakable bond and commitment. The phone rang, shattering the stillness of the evening. It was Marcos. Raphael took a deep breath, his heart pounding in his chest. The DNA results were in,